Now we're got it going. All right, so we're at American Muscle Cycle Works in Granby, Mass, where I dropped off the paint to these guys to put together. Lee Cox and Tony Novak, the partners in this little venture. And maybe you guys could walk us around it a little bit.
Sure. What we did here is we took a 2000 Sportster. This was a Sportster Custom, as a matter of fact. And as I've always said, I believe there's a lot of people with Sportsters out there. I believe the Sportster itself has gotten probably responsible for more people riding Harleys than anything. And I believe there's still a lot of people probably with Sportsters that they have, and they might not ride them as much because, it's cool looking more or whatever, And here what we did was we took a 2000 Sportster and we cut the frame. We added a hardtail kit to it. This is from TC Brothers. It's a company uses all American. This is all American made, all the tubing, all done right here in the US. Yeah. We added this hardtail in and removed the engine. We completely went through the engine as far as new gaskets. These are great running engines.
Yeah.
Good transmissions in them. They're really solid. We put new gaskets in it, honed the cylinders, new set of rings. It runs perfectly. Put everything back in it that was Sportster. You can use the wheels, the brakes. These are all from the original bike, except we went with a 6-inch over front end. Give it that real 70s look. Obviously a different tank, different rear fender. This is still the stock front fender from this bike.
Tall tires.
Yeah, we went with the period tires. We wanted to keep the period correct.
Yeah.
We thought that'd be pretty cool. Excuse me. The only thing we did do is we ran, because the Harley Davidsons, well, any motorcycle for that matter, it's just a lot of wiring, a lot of harness stuff, a lot of fuses, starter relays, breakers, so forth like that. What we've done is we've taken this toolbox, and all of our wiring, we have a module in here, and we ran all of our wiring outside the toolbox to keep it really clean, to keep the backbone of the bike really nice and clean for this tank, to give it a really nice, sleek look.
Yeah, this is what we didn't want to have on the bike.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, let's hide this somewhere.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
Where would you put it?
Yeah.
You don't need
Box
that.
on the floor.
Don't need that anyway.
So,
Yeah, you got your side mount speedo there.
Yeah, we moved this, like I said, this bike will pass inspection. This bike is all fully functional. Directionals, brake lights, the speedo, even the indicators.
Yeah.
So this is everything, that would be on the stock bike anyway. So you could, not only is this a cool looking bike, but it's a rideable bike. You can get an inspection for this motorcycle.
Yeah. Yeah. Got the slick little controls up here.
Yep.
Nice buttons.
Shrunk everything really nice and low. Kept it as clean as we could. Made it real narrow. The old lane splitter bikes back in the 70s is what I always recognized them as.
Yeah.
When I remember bikes growing up as a kid, like I said, sitting in the passenger seat of the car, and these would pull up beside you. This is what I remember.
Yeah. King and queen seats, sissy bars. Yeah.
Just a cool look. One thing about this industry are the trends from the wide tire bikes. We have baggers are big right now. Dynas, of course. And I think everything's coming back full circle. I think that rather than going spending all this money at a dealership and buy something that looks the same just like everybody else's, you can take your old cool Sportster and make it a cool bike.
Yeah.
Or a Dyna can do this to any bike, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
We chose the Sportster in this case. It helps keep the cost down. It's a proven engine, transmission. It's all wrapped into one. It's one unit.
They're plenty of power now.
It's a
1200s, right? So you got plenty of power.
It'll go just as fast as you need something like this to go.
Right.
But it can be done with a bunch of other different bikes. Still a carbureted bike, easy to work on, simple.
Yeah. It's a sharp looking bike. Certainly
real
did a nice job. Yeah.
We're real happy. I think I think this bike, it's going to get a lot of attention at the show. We're really happy to bring it there, bring something different to the table.
Yeah, right.
And that's, I think
So
what it's all
Friday.
about.
Well, you don't see too many flaked out, old school kind of chopper bikes anymore.
That's for sure.
Maybe every once in a while a barn find gets dragged out, and that's always good. But
yeah. And like I said, these Sportsters are everywhere. They're everybody I know started on a Sportster, I believe. Almost everybody I know, including myself.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, me too. I had one for a year.
There you go.
They told me, they said, well, in the first week, you're going to wish you bought a bigger bike. And I said, nah. What in the first week, I wish I had bought a bigger bike.
It is bigger now. It's as long as a Softail, believe it or not.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's almost got the wheelbase because this added some length to the bike, this hardtail kit here. You know, obviously we got a really big ride height. I mean, I think we can jump Jersey barriers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure there.
With our own oil tank, everything else that we put on the bike, I mean, I think it's really cool. I think, like I said, I think it's just another phase of the motorcycle industry. It keeps changing, it keeps evolving.
Yeah.
And that's good for our industry. I really do. I really believe it.
And it doesn't look like the other 3 Sportsters in the dealership. Oh,
There
mine's
you go.
the 3rd gold one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so it doesn't get lost in the crowd. It's going to stand out, but I can't wait to ride it. Can't wait for the roads to clear up and the riding season to begin.
Well, a little bit about you guys personally now. Tony, you don't come from the motorcycle world. You're an engineer.
Yeah,
Originally,
mechanical engineer, but I had a motorcycle before I had a car. I went 3 years on a bike before I even bought my first car. So
That doesn't sound like a bad thing.
Yeah. So I started off, like 15 and a half down in Louisiana on a motorcycle. So I've just been there forever.
Yeah.
Now I've turned it into a hoarding problem.
Yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit.
We need a bigger building.
Yeah, so you can put some work in it?
Oh, customers' bikes?
Yeah.
It's not gonna carry the weight out.
Yeah. And Lee, we figured I know you for 17 years anyway.
Yeah,
so you were
easy. I mean, like
originally
I said,
at Tippy's?
early days back at Tippy's.
Was that the first place you worked wrenching, or?
That's where I got my feet wet wrenching, was Tippy's. I mean, it's, a lot of good friends back then, a lot of good techs, and learned a lot from them. And, and after Tippy's, I taught school for a while. I taught kids how to work on motorcycles for about 5 years. And
After Tippy's?
Yeah, after Tippy's, yeah, sure did.
And you've been through a succession of dealerships and whatnot, doing.
Yeah, I sure did.
Wrenching?
I also worked for Indian Motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked for Indian for 2 years, right at 2 years, and this place here, it's January, I believe.
Yeah, we just clicked over 1 year plate around here.
Yeah. So things are good. We're trying to focus on service. We want to bring service back to the industry. I believe that's where it's really slacked off. I mean, to me, walking into a Harley dealership, personally to me, is not the same as it used to be.
Right.
It doesn't have that vibe. And here you can come in, you can see your bike being worked on. There's no hiding anything. Our bikes are right out here in the open.
Yeah, we got these beautiful,
We're right out here in the open.
beautiful picture windows out front. They can stand outside, eat their lunch, and watch you. Yeah.
From what I've been learning about this industry from day one is, this is, we always looked at it as a car. You need a car, but you want a bike.
Right.
And when somebody does get a bike, they take a lot of pride in it, and they're very, worried about who's working on it, how it's getting treated, and so forth. And we have nothing to hide here. You can come see how your bike's being
That's right.
handled.
They certainly do. Well, we're all fussy about our stuff.
Well, that's just it.
So this will be at the show, and you got some other stuff going in the show?
Yeah, this bike here is going to be at the show. We also have this Indian Scout. Is this a 2015?
Yeah.
This is a 2015
Wide tire
Indian
bike.
Scout.
Yeah.
We've actually done some mods to it. Besides custom paint, we've actually added a 230 millimeter rear tire. This is from RC Components. A really nice kit. Bolted in pretty well.
I like the pipe. Nice pipe.
Yeah.
Whose pipe is that?
That's
Dirty
Dirty
Bird?
Birds.
Yeah.
It's John Cho's stuff.
Yeah.
We also did, which was really tedious, but it really came out nice, is normally Indian has this large speedometer right here.
Yeah, it wasn't matching the colors, the theme of the bike. This funky,
No, I don't think
peach
so.
looking. Yeah, it's like that's gonna go.
We can
So
do
what we
better.
did was we wired in our own speedo, we wired in our own tachometer, our own indicator lights, so this bike performs and functions just as if it would if it had that.
Yeah.
It was a lot of wiring, it was a lot of work. These new motorcycles are all computer driven, and you really gotta. They won't let you do a lot, but however we were able to pull it off. It runs great. It works fantastic.
Yeah. And it looks a lot neater up there too.
It cleans it up. It really goes with the theme now. This flying tiger type theme. Everything's hidden under this cowl. Really gives it more of a nice clean look there.
Yeah.
That's another bike we're bringing.
That
This
one.
Dyna we're bringing.
The Dyna.
Yeah.
Ever popular Dyna with the.
Yeah. Everybody loves Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You got the tall risers, straight bars. Yeah.
This bike here is actually really special though. This bike's got a lot of hammer performance work into it, which is a company that does performance work in the heads. We had that done. It's been bored out. You know, big open primary on it, thunder header, Mikuni carb, really runs good, really strong bike, really fun to ride, really fun to ride. And that bike's going to be at the show as
It's
well.
got the nice fat belt on there. There you get a picture of that.
Yeah, it looks pretty good for a 17-year-old bike.
Yeah, it certainly does.
Well, that's just it. You know, there's a lot of people that have the older bikes. We can bring them back, make it cool. It's still a cool bike. It's still a Harley.
Yeah.
You know.
And Big Chief's going?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's something Lee and I did last year. Raked out front end.
Oh, you got the fender on it. Last time I saw it, didn't have a fender.
Yeah.
It's raked out.
Apes lowered the rear end. Just slammed onto the ground.
Yeah. That lower chin fairing, that's aftermarket, right?
Yeah, that's Dirty Bird.
Yeah.
The
Same with the pipe.
pipe and the rake kit for the front end.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And the dash is all custom too. That's not an Indian dash. We didn't like theirs either, so that's all custom.
Yeah.
And you know, it's the Medicine Man theme. So you know, you're sitting on a saddle blanket instead of just a fender. You know, you get your saddle on a saddle blanket, and away you go.
Right. Now that rake kit, that's is that a bolt-on neck and trees, or is it just trees? It's bolt-on neck.
Oh yeah, yeah. So this part is all bolt on up to here. There's a little bit of tricks getting the trees back in.
Well, yeah.
You swear once in a while, but
Yeah.
it all comes together.
Huh. Nice. Yeah. Looks good kicked out. And then the Gray Ghost, is that going?
Maybe if we can pull off the rest of the restoration stuff we want to do. We want to show people that we do restorations on older bikes. Not everything has to be tricked out with custom paint. You know, this is a factory stock color, and it's beautiful the way it is.
Yeah.
So if we can finish off what we want to do for the cleanup, maybe.
Yeah. And it's got the yellow enhancements in there. I love those. And there's the
Oh yeah, original flyer for it from 1989.
yeah. Lee, you had a good story about that.
Yeah, the
about
story
that
behind
thing.
the Fat Boy, the name Fat Boy, it's really, you know, a lot of people don't know how that actually became, but it actually, the Fat Boy, the term Fat Boy is named after, you know, both the Hiroshima and the Nagasaki bomb there from World War II.
Oh, that's right. Fat Man, Little Boy.
Fat Albert and Little Boy were put together.
Fat Albert is the cartoon guy. Fat Man.
Is it Fat Man?
Fat Man and Little Boy.
I've been calling Fat Albert this whole damn time.
That's
Fat
even
Man, Little Boy. I believe that's correct.
Yep.
And what this focuses on is, you know, these yellow rings here represented the actual rings that were on the bombs themselves. And you know, I guess it's kind of Harley's way of, you know, flipping the bird at Japan at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is the, you know, it's original 1990 Fat Boy. It's a really cool bike.
Looks really cool. Yeah, we like that.
We do perform restorations as well. You know, there again, there's a lot of just a lot of these bikes were cool like they were, but you know, they age and.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with Fat Boy. That was quite the desirable bike when it first came out.
Absolutely.
You know, painted frame. That was the big thing I remember now.
Yeah.
Had the painted frame.
Yeah. Really cool. You know, I've always dug this bike, and you don't see a lot of them anymore. You know, and I think that bringing something like
At least
this
not
back,
stock that nobody's butchered up.
Yeah, I mean, that's just it. This is a stock motorcycle, and it's going to remain stock. It's going to remain quiet. It's going to remain underpowered.
Yeah, right.
But you know, like I said, it doesn't really need change. It just needs a little bit of a facelift, clean it up. This bike only has 5,000 miles on it. It's all original miles on this bike.
It's like brand new.
Yeah,
too.
this was actually the first one of these was the first one sold in Kansas. Believe it or not, that's where this bike came from.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. You know, a few things we want to change to it. I'm not a big fan of, you know, the yellow wires. We're going to put the black wires back on. But we're going to clean it all up. We're going to really give it a nice facelift and just, you know, keep it just like
primo
it was.
stock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the last bike we're going to be bringing is this little Springer over here. This was a Sportster that we just had around. We put a Springer front end onto it, you know, on it. Little board tracker style bars.
Yeah.
Really low, kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but there again, you know,
looks like you just want to be ripping down the highway.
it's just a fun little bike. That's it, you know.
Yeah.
So we'll be bringing, you know, quite a few bikes of selection, you know, from Indians to, you know, our version of a vintage.
Yeah, when we look down the row here, you've got a pretty nice cross section of bikes that would look good on any used car lot.
No, that's really we do sell bikes.
We're not going to sell your bike. Settle down, settle down.
Or right amount of money.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's right.
But yeah, that's kind of our thing. You know, we sell bikes here. Our main focus is service.
Yeah.
We do builds for customers. You know, I have that shovel in the back that we're doing a build on now. And once we get back from the show, we'll be getting back to that.
Yeah.
We're really happy. We're really looking forward to a great season this year.
Yeah, I think this year is going to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I guess we'll see everybody at the show.
Yeah, look forward to it.
All right.